For years, the promise of a big tech revolution in education always felt like it was just around the corner. Well, that's over. It's not a promise anymore, it's here. We are smack in the middle of an AI-driven transformation, and it is moving at a speed that has caught pretty much everyone off guard.
Okay, look at this number, 86%. Any guesses what this is about? It's a figure that tells a pretty incredible story about a massive industry-wide shift that's happening right now.
So that 86%, that is the share of education organizations that are already using generative AI. And here's the kicker, the part that's truly mind-blowing, that is the highest adoption rate of any industry. Yeah, an area that has historically been kind of slow to adopt new tech is now suddenly leading the charge. So, why the sudden rush? What's going on here? I'll tell you, it's not just because AI is the new shiny toy. It's really a direct response to the immense pressure on our current system. Everything from teacher burnout to the huge demand for more personalized learning for students.
And if you really want to understand the speed, just follow the money. This market is absolutely exploding, and it's being driven by one key thing: solutions. A whopping 72% of the market is focused on practical software and platforms that solve real, immediate problems for schools. And the amount of money pouring in, it's just staggering. We're talking about a market that's projected to grow from over $7.5 billion today to more than $112 billion by 2034. You just don't see that kind of growth based on hype alone. It's a reflection of the real, measurable results schools are already seeing. Okay, so all this money and all this tech is great, but what does it actually mean for the teachers in the classroom? Well, one of the biggest impacts is how AI is directly taking on teacher workload and burnout, two of the most critical issues facing the profession today. Check out this number. This is a big one for teachers. On average, educators who are using AI tools are saving 5.1 hours every single week.
And that's not just a number on a screen, right? That time saved has a real, profound human impact. Take it from a secondary teacher named Sarah Thompson, who says, "I used to spend my Sundays on lesson plans. AI helps me create worksheets in half the time, giving me my weekends back." I mean, this isn't just about being more efficient. It's about giving people their lives back and making teaching a more sustainable career. So how are they doing it? What's the secret? Well, they're using a whole new toolkit. Platforms like magicschool.ai and eduaid.ai are built for educators, letting them generate lesson plans, whip up assessments, and adapt materials for different reading levels, basically automating all that grunt work that used to eat up their nights and weekends.
But hey, this whole revolution isn't just about making teachers' lives easier. For students, AI is fundamentally changing how they learn, shifting us away from that old one-size-fits-all model to something way more dynamic.
Think about it. For generations, learning meant a textbook, right? One book for everybody, no matter who you were. AI just blows that whole model up. It creates a personalized learning path for each student, where the content actually adapts to their interests, their pace, and their knowledge gaps. It makes the materials so much more relevant and, frankly, more effective. And does it work? Oh yeah, you can absolutely measure the impact. Studies are showing that students in these AI-enhanced programs are achieving test scores that are, on average, 54% higher than in traditional settings. That's not a small bump. That is a huge leap in how well students are learning. And again, this is happening because of some really cool tools built just for students. Google's Notebook LM can take your class notes and instantly turn them into a personalized study guide. Tools like Snorkel give students a space to just talk through their ideas and get immediate feedback. And Microsoft's Immersive Reader is a game changer for accessibility. It's all about empowering students to learn in the way that actually works best for them. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But with any huge change like this, there are going to be some tough questions. It's not all smooth sailing. We absolutely have to talk about the serious human and ethical challenges of an AI-driven classroom. So what are people actually worried about? The concerns are real, and they're significant, and they're pretty different depending on whether you're a student, a teacher, or a school administrator. And when you actually break down who's worried about what, it gets pretty interesting. For students, the number one fear is being wrongly accused of plagiarism. For educators, well, plagiarism is also number one, but it's followed really closely by the spread of misinformation. And for the leaders, the school administrators, their focus shifts to bigger picture stuff, like ethics, and whether their IT systems are even ready for all this. But you know what? Maybe the biggest hurdle of all is this critical disconnect in training. It's something called the perception gap. While about 76% of leaders believe their people are getting AI training, the reality is different. Nearly half of all teachers and over half of all students say they've received no training whatsoever. That gap, that's a huge problem if we want to use these tools the right way. So, where do we go from here? The conversation is finally shifting from this simple, is AI good or bad debate, to a much smarter discussion about how we guide its integration into our schools. And this brings us to what might be the single most important idea in all of this. The goal is not replacement, it's amplification. AI isn't here to take over for teachers. Think of it more like a co-pilot, a tool to amplify their ability to teach, to connect, and to inspire. And look, we have to get this partnership right. We have to, because the stakes just could not be higher. And to prove it, let me leave you with one final number: 66%. Yeah, that's how many business leaders are now saying they just wouldn't hire someone who doesn't have AI skills. This makes AI fluency totally non-negotiable for the future workforce. So what we teach in the classroom today, that literally determines if our kids can get a job tomorrow. So, at the end of the day, this technology is here and it is not going anywhere. The train has already left the station. The only question left for all of us, for educators, for students, for leaders, is a really big one. How are we going to choose to guide this incredibly powerful force to shape a better future?